The Commanders go to the Chargers. Both teams are fresh off of a loss. It was the Commanders' second of the season, the Chargers' first. And both teams are pretty beat up right now. The vibes aren't necessarily the highest around either of these teams. My key points for this game, as the Chargers are favored by 2.5. Chargers, you got to keep Herbert upright more. He's being pressured on about 50% of his dropbacks. And you just can't find offensive consistency if that's going to be the case. Keep building on the Omarion Hampton success. He's kind of improved week to week, was very good last week. That's one way to help out Justin Herbert and, the offensive line, just run the ball more. But then also the Washington secondary has given up a lot of explosive plays, so they're there to find. And the Chargers have been good on hitting on explosive passing plays especially. So even if you struggle to move the ball consistently because of the offensive line issues, hit the explosive plays when they're there. For the Commanders, the defense has to stop putting on capes, which is what the DC defensive coordinator said in his press conference today, basically saying guys are trying to do too much, and when you try and do too much, you end up out of position. You try to make the hero play, you're not playing gap sound, so we got to fix that. Another key is I would just get Marshawn Lattimore off the field, but sadly that's not an option. I'm interested to see how Jaden Daniels looked. He's probably going to play. He may have to play with a leg brace on, so I'm just interested to see if he's really at 100%, how's his mobility and stuff like that. We got to protect him. He's a prized asset. With how Mariota's played, I honestly just kind of wish we'd run Mariota out there for one more week. But I get it, I guess. And my last key point is run Bill Krosky Merritt more. Not that the other guys have been bad, but if you just watch the games, Bill is just the best at maximizing what's there. Getting the extra yard or two. The vision is just better than the other two guys. I get maybe the pass pro is not as good as you'd like, but we getting 7 carries a game. I need that at least in the double digits, please. So those are kind of my key points. Sanders?
Yeah, I think a key point is turnovers. Justin Herbert has started throwing more turnovers, and threw I think 1 or 2 against New York, and then
two against New York.
Yeah, it's been like unfortunate timed ones too, because if you look defensively, we're dominant. 3rd in yards per game, and 4th in points per game. But then if you look offensively, we're 8th in yards per game with 356 and 20th in points per game. And what that says to me is drive down the field, take up time, stack up yardage, turn it over. Or 4th down, like you've got a failed 4th down. That's like really, that kills drives, that kills momentum. So you got to eliminate that. You have to take care of Justin Herbert, just like Jack said. Missing Alt is tough, out for a couple weeks. But I think the best way to hide that loss is just run the ball. Omarion Hampton has been getting a lot more touches and has been looking really, really good. He's kind of looked like the guy you wanted to invest a first-round pick in after not looking like that through 3 weeks. Najee Harris looked like a much better running back out of that backfield. Through 3 weeks, goes down with the injury. In half a game, they really leaned on Hampton. He looked good. And then against the Giants, he looked great. That one rush that he had where he broke 4 tackles and just would not stop running, incredible. I mean, that made me so happy as a Chargers fan. So I love seeing that. So give Hampton the ball. Give him the opportunities. It's a home game. It's a chance to kind of try and get some momentum back. It's a game that you hope to win against a defense that hasn't looked great, ranking in the bottom half of the league in points per game and yards per game. So hopefully offensively you can take advantage of that. You can finish drives and get in the end zone. That's a big part. But yeah, not wasting drives and getting to the red zone or getting into the side of the 50 and then stalling out, I think is a huge goal for the Chargers this week.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Definitely not turn the ball over, because this is not a Commanders defense that has inspired any confidence this season. But they have forced a couple takeaways, and so that's honestly kind of the only way we're really getting stops right now, so don't just give us free ones, I guess. But thoughts on this game, JP?
Albeit they were Geno Smith takeaways.
True.
This is true.
A few of them, at least. I think it's just a massive game for the Chargers. They just need to get right back on the footing that they were on. I don't think they have to dominate the Commanders, but the opportunity's there to dominate the Commanders. Clearly shown by 2 weeks ago when the Packers did it to the Commanders.
We should not be able to move the ball in this game, realistically.
And with how poorly the defense has been playing, as y'all said, I think offensively you should play well. There's no one on that pass rush that should scare you. So even if Joe Alt's not playing, obviously no Slater, you shouldn't be scared. Herbert should still have his time. But I think the biggest thing is, like Sanders said, run the ball, give it to Amarian, let him continue to build off the week he had last week, and then turn this offense into what it should be on paper. Run, play action pass. Run, 9-yard game, 2nd and 1, play action pass. That's how it should be set up a ton. Right now, through the first 4 weeks, it's been a ton of pass, run. Against the Chiefs, it was almost pass the entire game, it felt like. And it worked. But I just don't know if that's going to be successful long term because right now, at least, Herbert's turning the ball over. He's got 3 picks through the 4 games, and that 3 picks already matches what he had all of last season in the regular season. And if he's... I don't think it's a thing of, if you let him keep throwing picks, he'll now feel better once he gets to the playoffs and he won't be pressed. And then when he throws a pick, he will be less likely to throw a second. I just don't think that's the case for him. I think you got to get back to what you should be offensively, what Jim Harbaugh offenses have been offensively. And I hope that they do dominate because they need to. They very quickly are about to be potentially tied with the Chiefs with the same record. They would own the tiebreaker, which would be the only thing that separates them. And the Broncos could very quickly be 3-2 as well if they pick up a big win in Philly this weekend. So that all of a sudden 3-0 lead and that 3-0 start doesn't look great after the loss last week against New York. You got the pass for it, and like Sanders said, you can very quickly forget that if you win a big win against Washington. On the flip side, I don't think there's any pressure on Washington at this point in the season.
No, we have the passive. We're really injured.
Yeah.
Which I think is covering up for some other issues we have that even if we were healthy would still be there, especially with the defense. But we're going to go into this game, no Terry McLaurin most likely, so the Chargers' defense that has been very good in pass coverage, and wide receiver 1 is Deebo Samuel, and Luke McCaffrey's getting meaningful snaps. Like, there shouldn't be anything the Chargers can't handle there. So
I am really surprised that they are starting Daniels. They must be confident. Like, Mariota's looked good. He has not been the problem.
yeah,
He's the highest graded quarterback in the NFL, according to PFF, and he's started 2 games now?
yeah,
Or come in?
2 games.
Started 2 games?
Mm-hmm. And that gives me hope that while I'm worried Jaden Daniels is not 100%, that he actually is.
Right, because why would you throw out someone who's 70% when
Correct.
you've got a guy who's cooking?
But we'll see. And it might also just be like Jaden Daniels been pretty pissed, honestly, that he's not played the past couple weeks. I think he's felt like he could, and the medical staff hasn't cleared him, which the medical staff has now cleared him. And so I don't think they're going to hold him back any longer. So, because, I mean, if the medical staff has cleared him, I guess why would you? But it's not great vibes right now, to say the least, for the Commanders. And so with that being said, I'm going to take the Chargers to cover the 2.5, and I feel pretty confident about that, to be honest. I just have seen nothing from this Commanders team in the past couple weeks that inspires confidence, especially defensively, mainly defensively. So I'll take the Chargers to cover the 2.5.
Agreed, 100%. And I love betting 2.5-point favorites as well.
Sure.
Spread doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense to me.
I agree.
And now, especially that Terry McLaurin has been ruled out. He got ruled out 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I maybe expect that spread to jump up. So while it's still there at 2.5, I would like to get on it and give me Chargers -2.5.
Yeah, I'll also take the Chargers -2.5.